Okay, I don't know if you can see me. I just want to do a quick blog about Walden University and how much they have ruined my life. And I'm going to just start from the top. When I first graduated with my master's degree, I decided I want to get a PhD. I've always wanted to. So I get online and I'm looking everywhere to see which programs are offered in my area. Of course, there's not very many in Washington State. So it was very disappointing. And I looked everywhere and tried to find some place that I could qualify to get in that didn't require me to jump through like a million hurdles and have to pay oodles of money, which I couldn't afford. So something that would basically allow a person that's disadvantaged and poor to get in more easily. And that's when I stumbled upon Walden University. I thought, they're accredited, my financial aid will be approved under them. Some things were a little bit croaky, and so I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll just transfer and get out of there. Once I get my foot in the door, it's been really difficult just finding anywhere to go besides Walden. And the minute I got there, it was like a shock, because I've worked at different colleges, I've attended several colleges, and I've never in my life heard of a college that gets to hold your financial aid for 4 weeks, at least over half of it. They get to keep it until at least 4 weeks into the quarter, and then they give it to you. And so, I went to TCC, I went to Evergreen, I went to just different colleges. I've worked at Pierce College, I've worked at University of Washington, City University, all kinds of different places. And every college I know manages to get the financial aid out to the student at the beginning of the quarter. But somehow Walden doesn't have to do that. They can get you about $500 for your book advance, and that's it. And the rest of your money, you don't get it for 4 weeks. Okay, which puts poor students at a disadvantage right off the bat. It has made me basically suffer, because I've had to get loans from Money Tree. I've had to borrow from my own money just to try to make it through because of computer issues or software issues, printer issues, and whatever it is, book, needing more materials for school. And I wasn't allowed to get it because I couldn't have access to my financial aid due to Walden's policies. Now, I don't know in the time of the 21st century that they could not be able to electronically transfer funds over and process them in a timely manner. Shows you the lack of management and skills of the people that work at Walden and able to solve issues and problems. I know that this has come up as students to, people have pointed out to them, look, this is a long time to wait for my financial aid. It's putting me in a bad situation. I have never experienced anything so devastating to have my school do this to me. And it's legal. This Department of Education doesn't care. I've contacted them and reported them, and it's perfectly okay to do that. Now, the whole purpose of financial aid, to me, supposedly, is for the student, so that it can give them the financial money and, to get the resources and the materials needed to be the most efficient and best student that you can be. But if you are not receiving that information, then there must be, it's going to hold you back. It's obviously going to affect you because you're basically starting school with one hand tied behind your back. And so what I was thinking is they must have thought ahead, and they were like, well, we know people are going to try to get PhDs in this area, and we know that the only ones that we're going to allow to get the PhDs are the ones that already are rich, the ones that already have money and don't need financial aid. So we'll just funnel them into the system, get them through. We don't care because they don't really need any money. So, but then we'll block all the other ones and we'll send them off to out-of-state universities that really don't care about the students' education, and just basically try to set them back. They're putting me at a race, and they're starting the race, and all the other wealthy students and the affluent students, they all get to begin running, and they're equipped with everything they need. But I'm still at the beginning of the finish line. At the beginning of the start line, just standing there waiting for the couple weeks to go by for me to start to run. Okay, that's how Walden's policies are. And I don't think that's fair at all. And no congressman even cares. Not a senator, not a representative, not any political person, any advocates for education. And no one can see how this can cripple a student and the person who's disadvantaged, how this is a system that is set up like a modern day slavery to keep down people in society, and I guess nobody just really cares, okay? And it's just so frustrating because as soon as I started to attend Walden, everything just fell apart for me, everything financially. I'm just so devastated. I just cry every time I go to class. I'm sick to my stomach of what they've done to me, and how this is like a systematic takedown of poor students. They have no remorse. They have no empathy. They can't even understand how it feels to have to wait 4 weeks for your financial aid. Have they had granted my financial aid like all my other schools and every school that I've worked at has done for every student? Had they had done that, I would not, I repeat, be in this crisis and chaos. So I just want to applaud Walden University for coming up with the new white academic system that only caters to white privileged students and blocked out, just like back in civil rights days. We're still left behind. We're still at the beginning lines, just trying to begin and be at the same level as the white students and the rich people, and we're still blocked. I'm reporting this for the 21st century. This is the year 2012, okay, December 7th, and this is still going on, and nothing's being done about it. No one cares, because all they do is get their money and their jobs. All they know each other. They're all a big network, all in secret societies where they have favoritism, nepotism. All of them are giving each other jobs and making sure that they get their mortgages and their car loans, their assets, their businesses, their studios, whatever it is that they want, they're getting. And while we're getting pushed out and stuck at checkpoint loans or Money Tree, or back in the line in the back of the bus like Rosa Parks. I'm still sitting there. I have to give up my seat for these white students who are privileged. They get to ride on the bus 3-4 weeks ahead of me, and I'm still waiting, okay, to get my ride to the school, but I'm not exactly arriving there until the end of the quarter, and then even then it's just nothing but a nightmare, just fighting for my financial aid, and it takes out so much stress on my health, and it actually diverts from the learning experience. Because how can you actually sit down and really gain anything from something when you're fighting it, when it's against you, when all the policies are set up just to take you down, when you know as soon as you arrive that it's a fraud and it's not supporting you, then it makes it a lot more difficult to learn in that environment. Okay, I call that a hostile environment set up for retaliation. Based on discrimination policies from, back in 1800 slavery days. So, whatever.